Vince, nice to meet you. Come on in. The good Lord put the passion in my heart, and so it's something I've always done since I was a kid. I've got a report card over there my mom saved for me when I was in second grade, and it talked about how Vince likes to be by himself. He has a passion for art, so that was in second grade. It's God-given. That's not something that I went searching for. So I'm grateful for what I do. Working for yourself, entrepreneur of any kind, you call the shots in terms of how much you work and work schedule. That's why you see me at the gym in the morning, because the rest of the day I'm in here doing what I do until 10 o'clock at night. Every piece carries with it difficulty, but that's the greatness about it, is that it's a process of working through problems. The larger the piece, the more complex a piece, the more difficult it becomes, but there's no less difficulty in doing it a charcoal. Because especially with what I do as a realistic portrait artist, is that it has to be accurate in terms of likeness, trying to capture the personalities. It has to be such a passion that working through the difficulties and the dry times and the hard times is worth it. Because that drive underneath has to push you through. Because if that's not there, you're gonna hit difficulty and then it's just gonna peter off. And so, I mean, I'm asked all the time, don't you get bored? And I've never ever gotten bored. To me, that's something that was a gift that's put in me. I could see it. It makes perfect logical sense. You're standing here for 8 hours, 10 hours a day and you don't get bored? No. No, I have to pull myself away from what I'm doing. When I was in art school, there was really, graphic design was a thing, but digital was not. It was just coming in, which was 34 years ago. There was one computer and it wasn't used for graphic design. It's where we are right now as a society, as a culture. But there's nothing like an artist's hand doing the actual work for me. The paintings are in my studio are people I've known or met along the way, because I work on a commission basis. When I'm doing a painting, it goes out the door. This larger one here, for example, a priest friend who, when I was sitting in mass, instead of listening to what he was saying, I was looking at him and going, that would make a great painting. Now this is very old. This was done in 1996, so I was very early on in my career at that time. So some of these are, these are competition pieces. This one here won best of. I work in pastel, oil, and charcoal. The ones behind glass are pastel. They're protected because it's a dry medium and it would smear. I enter a lot of competitions. There's another best of show. That's the actual award. These are very old. This was done in '97, so I needed pieces in my studio when I first started out, showing examples of what I could do. When clients would come in, rather than showing them a photo, showing them an actual piece makes a big difference. So again, friends I've known through the years, and if I see an interesting face, chances are I'm gonna ask that person if I can paint them. I've gotten bolder through the years. So I'm naturally an introvert, and so for me to step outside of that is a challenge, but I've had to get over it in terms of just being in the business end of things. And so this gentleman, for example, I was at a tile store picking out tile, and he walked in looking like that. And the second I saw him, I went, oh my, to myself, that would make a great painting. And so it took courage. I went up to him and I gave him a card and I said, hey, I'm an artist and don't think I'm weird, but you have a face that I'd love to paint. And he couldn't have been more gracious and kind. He said, I'd love to. This painting is actually won awards, but it also hung at the Butler Institute of American Art, which is the oldest American museum in the country, in Youngstown, Ohio. That was a huge thrill for me. It's probably older than you.